This is Jesse Stewart and Lucas Foster here. Lucas is a member of the U.S. snowboard team. We met back in June at the rookie camp, which I had the honor to present to. And Lucas was one of the athletes that came up and spoke with me, and in fact, one of the first snowboarders that I had the opportunity to get to know. And since June, we've had the opportunity to dialogue over the phone, Instagram, text. Now I finally got him here, and we're getting ready to go do, hopefully, be an epic visit at the VA here in Colorado Springs and then Fort Carson, and then out at take a tour through the U.S. Olympic Training Center. So, Lucas, it's all right. I'd love for you to introduce yourself, talk about what you do, and then we'll answer some questions.
Sweet. So my name is Lucas Foster. I'm 19 years old, and I'm from Telluride, Colorado. And as Jesse said, I'm on the U.S. snowboarding team for halfpipe. I'm on the rookie team, and I just got on this past winter. And I'm super excited to be a part of the team. Super special to have Jesse out at the rookie camp in Park City. We get to, we're lucky enough to have someone like Jesse come share this, new realm of knowledge to us. We get to really experience a relationship with someone that, completely different realm of life. Snowboarding to being in the military, it's a big difference, but it's great to connect on things that we, all share in common. And super excited to be out here to meet more amazing men and women that have been through a lot of stuff and have persevered through so many things.
Talk briefly about what it means for you to be able to come out here to Colorado Springs, which is one of the most heavily populated military and veteran counties in the United States.
It means the absolute world. I think us athletes and veterans and soldiers that have served the U.S., we all share a lot in common. We're out there risking our lives for our country, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. There's a lot of mental hurdles that we got to face in our journeys. For me, being a snowboarder, being in the halfpipe, and the smallest little thing can go wrong and really throw your mind off. It can result in injury. For some people, it's resulted in death or traumatic brain injuries. Soldiers experience very similar things, and usually to a higher degree, more common than athletes would. And it's super special, and it's a privilege to come out here and share what I've experienced with these veterans and to learn what they've experienced, because I know that it's super inspirational for me, and I'll definitely leave a smarter person, more inspired, motivated, and I hope I can do the same for them. So, super thankful that I get to come out here and do this.
Well, awesome. I used to think that I was cool because I jumped out of high-performance aircraft at about 180 miles per hour. But man, I'll tell you what, when I watch what you guys do, especially on the snowboard halfpipe, with the twists and turns of what you're able to do in the air, man, it humbles me. In fact, I think I made a video one time about your teammate Jason Woolley and just put #humbled, which is all I can say, because I've been able to do some pretty crazy things. But what you guys do on a daily basis, and for me, it's something I do every once in a while. Obviously, I'm not at war all the time, but you guys are doing this day in and day out, and absolutely impressed. So, when I was in Park City, we had the opportunity to talk about, a resilient-based mindset is what I tried to share with you guys with the rookies, and how I implemented that as a Ranger in the Army, but have since realized over the last year and a half, 2 years, that there's different levels that I could, implement it at post-Army life and hopefully transcend on you. And we talked about living life on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual planes of existence. And I was wondering if you recall back to what we spoke about, if you could talk about what that means to you.
To be brief and short, it means the world to live my life, being aware of those four realms. Being an athlete, obviously, it's a lot of physical, but the physical doesn't happen without the mental, and the emotional doesn't really work without the physical and the mental. And you're never really going to connect with your spiritual side without having those three planes, at least, in the process of being mastered. So early on in my career, I realized, I gotta have some serious physical strength. I gotta be able to get in the gym, get my body stronger, so that my mind can become stronger. And then I can control my emotions, so when I do get knocked down, when I do take hard falls, when I do lose, my emotions are controlled. And then, that's when all those three things things are, just set in stone and flowing, then I'm connecting with my higher self, I'm connecting with my spiritual side. And then, that's when it becomes much more of a journey whenever you're really, feeding your soul, and when your work becomes, something that's making your life full and complete. So it's super important for me to be living my life aware of those four planes for sure.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, as a 38-year-old man and literally old enough to be your father, I can't tell you how inspirational it is to me to see someone of your generation just embracing these concepts. And with that being said, I'd like to kind of break down into each of those a little bit and get your opinions on them. So, as far as the mental, you talked briefly about failure, and I was curious if you could discuss, how you've dealt with failure up until this point. If perhaps you could talk about maybe what your single biggest failure was, and more importantly, what you learned from it, and how you bounced back on, and then in the end, did that make you stronger, and why?
Yeah. So I'd say my biggest failure was kind of a couple different things, that built up into one big event. And this was 2 winters ago. It was an amazing winter for me. It's probably still to this day one of the best winters ever. I had won a pretty big contest, and my name was, out there in the snowboard industry, and I was becoming a lot more well known and getting invites to big events and photo shoots, and I was getting to, really get a taste of what it's like to be a pro snowboarder. Traveling all over the country with pro snowboarders on other people's dime. Having companies pay for all the stuff. It was amazing. I was living the dream. Literally living the exact dream that I grew up. Sitting in my bed like, this would be amazing, or it would be amazing to get to do what these pros are doing. And I was doing it, and I got pretty caught up in, the glory, the amazing fun that I was having, that I forgot to kind of come back to my roots of what got me there. I kind of turned my back on these, simple things that propelled me to that point where I was able to live my dream, being a pro snowboarder. And once the season was over, I came back home and I realized that, I'd forgotten about all these other things in my life, and I'd forgotten about, these things. I forgot about my roots, and my body was starting to break down. My emotions, my mental side was not as strong as it once was. It wasn't as strong as it was when I was getting up to that point of, breaking into that pro snowboard scene. So that was I'd say that's my biggest failure, was letting myself get too caught up in the glory and not being aware of, my everyday moves. It's super important to, as we were talking about the mental, emotional, spiritual side, it's super important to stay self-aware of what's getting you to where you want to go and what's holding you back. And that was my biggest failure in my snowboarding career. And I learned a lot through that whole experience. It was a good 2 months of kind of reversing all of that, and having the pride, losing the pride, and having the strength to say, all right, I'm going to give up this whole attachment to the glory. I'm going to go back to what got me to where I'm trying to go, and I'm going to focus on that so that I can keep living this dream. Because if I turn my back on my roots, and I turn my back on the training that got me to where I want to go, to where I was going, then all this stuff is going to be taken away from me. So I learned tons of stuff through that, and I appreciate that whole experience more than anything, because those 2 months of being sad and feeling super defeated, gave me tons of strength that really lit a fire in me to go out there and go even harder than I did years before leading up to that point. So, I tried my best to utilize that mistake, utilize that failure of letting myself get kind of too caught up in the glory, the game.
You so need to dive into that stoicism stuff that we've been talking about. Like, everything that you're saying, just it reminds me of when Marcus Aurelius talks about his letters to his students, and the advice that he gave them. And I think what you're referring to, without saying it, is the concept of the ego. And the fact that when the ego takes over, that's where, okay, yes, I'm on the cover of Powder magazine, or some incredible picture that's being circulated around the internet and has been reposted by, you know, Lady Gaga on, you know, or Instagram or whatever. But the fact that you're self-aware enough to acknowledge that, and I think you'll get so much out of that stuff.
Totally, yeah. You know, it'd be kind of like LeBron James being so caught up in how amazing of a basketball player that
He's a stoic. Yeah, he talks. If you'll notice, a lot of his quotes and stuff are from Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers.
You know, it'd be exactly like if, you know, he got so caught up in his skill and his precision to be the best that he completely quit doing the stuff that got him to be the best, and then he started having that downhill spiral. So that's what it was. And that was a big point in my career that crushed me, but it also, you know, really was a huge turning point for me. I'd say it was the biggest turning point.
Yeah. Well, so the next thing was we go into the emotional side, and we probably won't go into this too much tomorrow because it's not as applicable to the group that we're going to be addressing, but I'd love to talk about it now, and then possibly in the future we find another opportunity for it. But, you know, everyone thinks of the military as this team. Like, we're all in this team where we're here to always help each other on our right and left. But, and then with the U.S. snowboarding and skiing, you guys are individuals, right? You're competing against those other 220 some odd athletes that are there. Obviously not that many on snowboard, but you're competing with anyone and everyone everywhere you go. Well, in the military, so just to give you context, like the unit that I commanded in Task Force 300, you go on the officer side, there are approximately 25 lieutenants, platoon leaders, which is what I started out at. When you go up to the commander level, which is where I served at in 2007 to 2009, there are 5. So you go from 25 lieutenants up to 5 captains. In the next rank, you have 2 majors in that unit and 1 lieutenant colonel. So as you're moving up, you are competing. Only 5 of those lieutenants are going to get the opportunity to move up to that next level. Only 2 of those 5 are going to get the opportunity to move to the next, and then 1 of the 2 move up to the next one. So it is actually competitive. And so a lot of people think, well, you can't understand our individual competitives, but we do more than you think. And so with that being said, you know, how important are relationships and friendships within the team? And then we can talk about relationships outside the team later if you want to, and that might be a better emphasis tomorrow for the relationships you build outside the team with coaches, sponsors, you know, someone like me, someone like Josh Evans or Cherokee. But how important are the relationships within the team for you?
They're huge, you know. It's having teammates and having friends in this sport that is pretty competitive. You know, it's really important for all of us to keep in mind that teammates have the ability to either bring each other up to this whole new level of success, or they have the power to completely break everyone down. So for me, I've been trying my best to just stay aware of how I'm treating my teammates, how I'm treating my friends. You know, even though I want to beat them and, you know, I want to get first place, I still want to be respectful to them. I still want to be supportive to them. You know, because I want to see them do great, and I'll be able to help them wherever I can. You know, whether that's, you know, telling them to go for that trick again, and I know that they're so close to landing, or, you know, sometimes it's telling them to slow down. You know, like, hey man, I see you're super close to this trick, but you're also getting super tired, and I think if you keep going, you're going to deck on this trick, and you could get really hurt. You know, so it's a fine line of, like, you know, pushing your friends to that next level, but also having the guts to tell them to slow down. You know, which isn't easy because, you know, sometimes they'll take it the wrong way, and they'll think that you're just trying to get them to quit. But, like, in my eyes, even though we're all out there trying to beat each other, we're all teammates, we're all human beings, and you know, it's up to us, you know, to ourselves to get ourselves to that new level of success. And you know, for me, I got to master myself. I got to be kind to myself in order to, you know, truly be a good teammate to my peers. So it means the world to have teammates, and it's a big responsibility too. You want to be the best teammate, the best friend you can be.
Awesome. Well, in terms of the physical, how has that played a role, particularly in regards to tying the mental to the physical for you? And, you know, how has that come? You know, I don't know if you work out with your teammates. I know when you're in Park City you do, within the team. But how has that role of the mental and the physical played in with you?
It's huge, as we were talking about earlier, the mental feeds the physical, the physical feeds the mental feeds the emotional. They're all tied together. It's like a big pot of soup. You have your veggies, the veggies can be the physical, the spiritual, or the emotional, and then the broth can be the mental. So I think that, tying it back to food as an example, you don't really have the physical if you don't have the mental. So you gotta have both, and you gotta honor the fact that they feed each other, they feed off of each other. So, I use my mental strength to get myself in the gym when I don't want to. You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, I'm exhausted. But then you also, you gotta have the guts to come back to your roots and be like, all right, why do I go to the gym? What am I doing in the gym? What's my goal in the gym? Oh yeah, I'm going there to get stronger. I'm going there to invest in myself. I'm going there to put money in my piggy bank. Going to the gym is all about making yourself stronger, and so it's super important to jump that mental hurdle of doubting if you can make it into the gym or make it on the mountain or on that trip. But as you jump that hurdle and you get the job done, then your mental becomes better. Because you know that you overcame this little obstacle, this little thing that's messing with your mind. And as you become stronger, whether it's on the snow or in the gym or more flexible or whatever, your mental becomes way better because you know that you put in the work. It's really hard to drop into a half pipe when you haven't done all the work that you could have done. You could sit up there and say all you want, oh, I believe in myself, positive mental attitude, but if your actions don't back up that positive mental attitude, it's not all going to come together. So it's just all that self-awareness. I think self-awareness is the chicken broth for the chicken noodle soup. If you don't have it, then it's going to be really hard to keep it all together.
As I was reading that book yesterday, there was a context in there where they talk about, and this is more in regards to someone speaking, but you think about it in an event or something you're doing, and they basically said within the Stoic world, nobody cares about what you're actually saying or presenting. They care about what you did to get there.
Exactly.
And that's within the Stoic world. So obviously, the material world cares about the results. Okay, can I get up there and give a TED talk or talk to the partner summit? But really, what it's about is about the process of getting there. With you, I think that's what you're saying. The same thing is it's about the process. It's about the work that goes in, no one sees, that actually gets me to that point right as I drop in. And win. And man, that just blows my mind. You got that self-awareness.
Big saying that one of my mentors, Jason Cannon, really pushes on me is you will never become a champion on the snow if you're not a champion off the snow. The off snow aspect is
Instagram quote.
Yeah. The off snow aspect is the training. What are you doing for your mind? What are you doing, for your physical? Are you in the gym? Are you keeping your muscles flexible while also keeping them strong? Are you putting good food in your body? Are you taking in good energy every day? So that's really important. And as Gary Vaynerchuk will say, you're never going to make it if you don't love the process. If you don't love the process, you don't love what you're doing. And I've been trying my best to love the process, fall in love with the mistakes, fall in love with the setbacks, fall in love with those silly little mental blocks. Love those to death because those are the things that are going to get you to the top. No champion has ever been built without adversity. There have been so many snowboarders, skiers, skateboarders, football players, NBA athletes that have been built up to the top. They never made it without a fight. Shaun White's a good example. That guy has taken so many beatings, so many setbacks. Even though he's on top now, he's definitely living well. At least from the outside, that guy's been through hell. And growing up, he talks a lot about how him and his family, went to all the contests in the minivan and they stayed in the camper in the parking lot. A lot of kids maybe wouldn't love that as part of the process, but if Shaun loved that part of the process, which he clearly did, it's going to get him to the top. He's at the top. It's a good example of someone that's went through adversity. And I strongly believe that there's no champion out there that was built up by getting pampered and just least no champion that ever lasted with strong, positive legacy.
Wow, man. In fact, back to the mental side, and I was hesitant on asking this question. However, everything that you just said just screams that I need to. Uh, you do Big Air, which is there's a lot that can go right and can make a lot of people smile and can make for a great video, but there's a lot that can go wrong as well. And like I said, my fascination with your half pipe side that I would never give the time of day to prior to walking in and meeting you guys is just gone to blow me away. So how does the risk of that fall or getting hurt or not landing something, or even the risk of just doing a trick you've never done before, or maybe that you're not 100% on in practice or in competition, but you know that in order to break into that podium, you've got to do it. How do you deal with that mental side of the concept of failure?
It's super hard. I personally think it's going to be a never-ending learning process. Jumping over that mental barrier of throwing that big trick that you've never done to get that gold medal. I've been in a lot of situations where I do have to try these tricks that I've never done, but I know I could do with the proper preparation, the proper mental mindset, the right frame of mind. But it's always in the back of your mind, like, oh, I've never tried this trick. What if I do this and I fall and I break my back? It's always back there. Fear is always going to be there in life, no matter what you're doing. When you're walking on the sidewalk and there's like a little puddle, or a patch of ice, there's always going to be things there that are going to put fear on you. But it's how you, deal with that fear that's going to kind of make you less aware of, the things that are going to happen that could go wrong. For me, what I try to do before I do these big tricks that are risky is I make sure I do everything that I can to prepare for those situations. So, as people say, how you train is how you will fight. So I try my best to challenge myself every day outside of snowboarding so that I can, when I do face challenges in snowboarding, I've kind of already, been around the block and know what it's like to, go for that big challenge or that big trick. But yeah, you're never gonna, a grandmother is never gonna stand at the top of the half pipe and drop in because she knows that her legs are probably gonna break if she tries airing out of the pipe. So it's the same for us younger athletes. It's gonna be super hard for us to try a double cork if we know that we've never even done a single cork and our lower backs are super sore and we stayed up till 2 in the morning playing Fortnite. But when we wake up in the morning and we eat a good breakfast and we know that our bodies are strong, that we're fueling our body with the right food, the right liquids, and that we spent the whole week doing, our single cork to perfection, that double cork is going to happen way easier. So there's always that risk of falling, but you can always act upon that risk and prepare yourself to land it, manifest that success with your mental mindset going into it, but also your actions. Your actions got to line up with your result.
Perfect. Well, going to the last two things. You've gotten to know me over the last, I guess, 6 months now. Where would you say the similarities that you see from your position in terms of soldiers, rangers, and athletes like yourself?
There's so many similarities. It's hard for the outside eye to really see them. I think I never really thought about them too much before I met you. I don't think many snowboarders really think about how their lives can relate to the life of a ranger. But as we were talking about earlier, we both go through some really scary situations. You guys especially. I know you said you're humbled by seeing us do these tricks in the half pipe, but I'm very humbled seeing you guys fight for our country and really risk your lives, to a very high degree. So the perseverance is, the biggest similarity is we all have to persevere through very scary situations. We both have to prepare ourselves before we, get in the half pipe or who are we riding for? What is our mission? How are we going to fulfill that mission? That's the biggest similarity is we're out there doing things for other people. It's bigger than just us. I'm out there snowboarding because I love it, but I'm also out there snowboarding because I've had so much, I have so much love for it, and I want to share it with the world, and I want to inspire younger kids. And you're out there serving for our country so that we can live in a free country. Many things beyond that. So I'd say the preparation is very similar. The setbacks are very similar. Injuries happen all the time for snowboarders, all the time for rangers. We see our friends get knocked down. We got to help our friends get back up. Sometimes we lose friends. In my case, that doesn't happen often, knock on wood. But I see my friends get really bad injuries, and it's hard enough watching that. So I can't even imagine what it's like to see one of your great friends die. So there's so many similarities, so many things that I can learn from you guys, things you guys can learn from us. That's the beautiful thing about this world is all these different people can come together, and even if you learn the smallest little thing from another person, that's a win.
Yeah. All right. So the last question, and this was not on the ones that I sent to you, so we'll see how you do with it. Let's say that for 30 seconds you could lock every computer screen in the world, every iPhone screen in the world, and for 30 seconds they had to look at something that you put up on that screen. What would it say?
Text.
Yeah, a text or so basically a saying.
It'd be a
Think
quote,
of like
it'd be a quote by Pablo Picasso. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give your gift away.
wow, that painting over there is Picasso. That's by the fireplace. So you have to go look and see who it's signed by. Get closer. All right, well, Jason, man, that was awesome. And I'll tell you, sorry, Lucas, we'll go back into that. Lucas, that was. Okay, you got it. I've been going hard for the last 45 days. Okay, Lucas, that was awesome, man. The wisdom and the collaboration that has happened since you stepped foot here into Colorado Springs has just been incredibly motivating. It was awesome for me to watch you engage with a 3-star general and 19-year-olds. I mean, I was 29 when I first met him, and I did not do that well the first time. Well, I guess maybe 28 when I first met him, but I was quite impressed. And he was texting me back right after with how impressed he was and how honored he was to have your attention for over 30 minutes that you guys sat down and did that. So absolute honor. Cannot wait tomorrow to introduce you to some fellow vets, get you out to Fort Carson, and then the really fun part for me, going to US Olympic Training Center, man. I'm doing those box steps that I was telling you about. Bring my shorts and my shoes, and I'm gonna box step up those 3 stories and attempt not to die. So, all right, man. Well, thanks so much.